welcome. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you so much.
I have a couple questions, but first I want to ask, because as far as I could find, have you done a post-game interview for either the DPC or early this week before? I don't think so.
I have not actually. No, I haven't.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is CY, the coach of Gaimin Gladiators. You might have seen him standing on stage as his team won the Lima Major. I think that's the only time people might have been able to see you. So, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about how you ended up with Gaimin Gladiators?
Yeah, sure. So about myself, I've been playing Dota for many years, on and off. But I've known Ace for 4 or 5 years or something like this, and we're both Danish as well. We share a lot of ideas and thoughts about the game historically as well, and always agreed on how we think it's good to play. And then I got to meet Tofo as well later when they started playing together. And back then my goal was kind of to get very high rank myself so I could play mid with them. But then they kind of did their thing, and they ended up in GG, and I was pursuing some other things. But in the end, it kind of made sense for them, as well as me, to get together again. Since we still talked about the game and about GG, just off the record, you could say. So yeah, that's kind of how I ended up there. Of course, I talked with the other team members as well, and luckily they agreed to have me. So yeah, very happy so far, obviously, with how it's been going, and hopefully it only gets better.
Yeah, could you tell us what style of coach you are? There's a lot of different styles, whether you are focusing more on the draft, on the outside of game, on the inside of game. What aspect do you feel is the strongest portion of your coaching?
Right, so I think the way I think about it, there's certainly an outside of the game. I want people to feel good in the team. I talk with people also individually. They can sometimes, you just need to rant or you need to talk some things through. I'm always down for that. And I also try to keep a good routine for us. We all do that in the team, I believe, but I definitely also try to push for it. In terms of in the game, I'm not the kind of dictatorship coach that would come in and just, I have my idea about how we should play and everybody just has to follow it. Obviously, they also weren't looking for a coach like that. The way I see it is that you have 5 players who are all better than me, obviously, otherwise I would just be playing probably already. So you need to use your players' ideas and thoughts and kind of shape the team from there. So mostly I try to, get people to speak and then work together and kind of get some ideas on the table and so on. That's more my approach, at least.
It seems to work very great. I have 2 questions before I let my panel ask some questions as well. My first one, I was deciding which one I would ask first, but my first one is going to be about yesterday. I feel like today's series was a walk in the park, so yesterday is a more, hopefully more exciting answer, because you guys had a bad day yesterday, of course, went 0-2. Were you able to identify what was wrong? Yeah,
I mean, we talked about it, obviously. First of all, sometimes consistency is a bit weird for us. You could say at the major we were super consistent. We didn't lose a single game in playoffs, but sometimes after that it happened like that. We beat Liquid, I would say, pretty convincingly in that series at least. And then we played Shopify, and it didn't go too well. I think we could probably have won with our draft, even though we had some carry Witch Doctor. But with all due respect, Anton, I don't even know if he has one game on Witch Doctor already. Apart from that, but he was down to wing it. Yeah, he does now, and he was down to wing it, and we said, what the heck, let's go with it. But yeah, it didn't work out, and game 2 as well. But we talked about it. We are still very confident. We were very confident after that. Kind of the mood after was that after we had a little talk, we kind of just wanted to play them straight ahead again in a best of 3. Unfortunately, it was not possible.
Not part of the format, but indeed, perhaps you'll get your revenge later portion. My other question is: this will be your first big patch as a coach, so you don't have prior experience on how to deal with that. What kind of approach are you going to take? Do you have any plans in mind for how to deal? Because it's supposedly a bigger patch than, or a surprisingly or massive bigger patch than normal.
Yeah, that's the rumors at least. I'm personally looking very forward to it. I think, in terms of big changes and the kind of players we have, I think we are very confident in big changes happening in the game. I think we're very good at figuring out what is strong and what is perhaps weaker very quickly, but also our players are very versatile. We have very big hero pools. I think I feel like, for example, Ace like can play anything. Quinn has a huge amount of games on almost any mid hero. The Ratcher is like, as you can see yesterday, he's kind of down to play whatever. And if we think something is very good, he will practice it. And our supports are also very, very good and can play, I would say, any hero. So I'm kind of optimistic about it. Personally, I've also hero crafted a lot in the past with Ace and so forth about things. We're very open to think a bit differently about the game. And so is everybody else on the team. So I don't know, I'm not worried about it at all. Of course, the timing is unfortunate if you're going to play like some Dream League playoffs, if we end up there. But I mean, it's out of our control, right? So we just adapt and we try to play many games and figure out some things fast. That's how I see it.
All right, exciting times to come indeed. So I'm here with Purge and Kazu and Jenkins, and they'd also like to ask you some questions.
Of course.
I'll go first if that's cool. Hey, do you normally go to boot camps with your squad? Yeah.
Yeah, we boot camp for the first DPC in Serbia. So that was also the first time I met most of the team. And I think it went pretty well. And we probably have a few more upcoming this year.
Okay. And a personal question: what was your job before you became the coach with the team?
Yeah, so for the most of my youth, I've been having my own business. Been doing like online marketing and some software with some freelancers. So that's been my main thing. Yeah.
Cool. And then last question. I know it's hard to pick favorites, but who do you think has been performing the best on your squad so far in this tournament?
Oh, putting me on the spot, man.
Yep. Flame four of your players.
Back, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we've all been playing very well, but I think Quinn is playing exceptionally well. So that's great to see. Also because I used to play a lot of mid in the past, and you're kind of alone always in the lane, you obviously, and so everything is on you, you know. If you're having a little bit of a bad lane, you will get punished for it against other good mid players. So I think it's insane that he managed to keep up that level like every single game. I'm very impressed, to be honest.
All right, I'll go next. Hey, CY, nice to get to talk to you.
Hey, Kazu.
As a coach, I'm sure you know your players very well. So I would like you to tell me the biggest strength you think all of your individual players have. Like, give me one thing about every player.
Okay. Sure. I'll start 1 to 5. So for Duracho, I think for him specifically, he's very confident and he's very aggressive. I like that because I don't like reactive Dota, so I think that's a good strength he has. For Quinn, is that he's very hardworking, but also he's very smart about every little move that he does and how he plays his lanes and every single matchup. Basically, he has some idea and he's played it before and he has thoughts about how he want to play it. So I like that approach about him a lot. Ace, for Ace, is just extremely clever. I also think he has very good leadership skills, and he can adapt to any kind of patch, and he can play any hero, honestly. And that's also why I joined the team. First of all, was because I always considered Ace like one of the best players in the world. And same goes for Tofu when I got to know him, because his individual skill is just really, really good. Like, he's one of the best I know to just press buttons, you know, like, and he's also very smart about the game, and he's very open-minded about the game. And for Celery, he's also like, he's very good at like structuring it in terms of like why something is strong and like what it can do, and he's a good leader for the team. Yeah, and I admire that about him.
Okay, those are solid answers. And then last one. So you've worked with them since the start of this season, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
That's correct.
What do you think they have improved on the most from the start of season to now? Like, what has drastically changed the team? Communication, gameplay, draft, strategies, what is it?
So, yeah, I guess we started a little bit before. We started in December, but so basically back then, I think, like, obviously most of the team were together before. There was they changed the mid player to Quinn. I think in the beginning with Quinn, it was like, I wouldn't say disconnected, but we definitely improved our team play a lot and improved how we want to play our mid lane with our supports in every single game, and how we, like, also depending on draft, like what we can do. but also we've just gotten better at playing together as a team. I think communication also have been better, but the gameplay is definitely the biggest thing, I would say.
All right. Thank you for the answers.
Hey, Big C, Jenkins here, and Shiver, it's my turn to ask a question. So at the major, of course, you were getting all of the players, trying to get them all to go to the gym with you and become a hunk and be strong, and you thought that was really important. I'm wondering, have you been successful in baiting them to go to the gym lately, or are there bad boys that are not going?
Actually, lately I think it's a bit less in general, even for myself. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. The hardest one that I've still not managed to convince at all is the Ratcher. I don't know how to get this guy in the gym. I'm still gonna try, but I don't know. Maybe one day. And I feel sorry for our enemies once that happens.
Okay, I got one more final question. Where the hell does your name come from? CY, where's that from?
It's literally from nothing. Like, I used to have, when I was younger playing Dota and have like online nicknames, whatever, they were pretty cringe and pretty bad. And at some point I just trashed them. I think I was around like 17 or 18. And I just chose some random letters. And I thought it sounded cool. And I don't know, it just stuck with me, I guess.
How do you pronounce it?
It's kind of random. It literally has no meaning.
Is it Psy?
No, it was thought like SCY. I thought that sounded cool.
Okay.
All right, one final question. What do you enjoy most about coaching your team?
I enjoy winning a lot, but honestly, I enjoy mostly when we are together somewhere. Like in Lima Major, the vibe was really good all the time. Obviously, when you lose, it's a bit different. You're focusing on how we can win again, and it's all back to business, But like in general, it's really a fun team to spend time with, and Ace was always for many years one of my good friends. So it's just great to be able to kind of work together as well. And I feel like we gotten pretty close. So just being with them is really fun. That's the best part. When we also win, that's even better.
You won a lot of Lima, so that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good times.
I lied. There's one more question. It's from Kazu.
I have a follow-up question because you like being with the boys, of course. Who is the clowniest player in your team? Who makes you laugh the most? And please give me an example. I've played with Quinn before. I know he's hilarious, but is there someone else that can reach up to his level?
I don't know. I think the Ratcher is also very good. It's not that he says a lot of things in a way. It's just how he is. He's just really funny. But I've stolen a lot of fun sayings or whatever from Quinn. Like,
of course.
I don't know. Quinn is just really funny, I think.
Smooth brain. There's one. He likes that one.
Smooth brain. Yeah. No, that checks out. Thanks.
All right, CY, we've taken a lot of your time. I was wondering if there's anything else you want to add or want to say while we have you here.
Nothing else than just thank you to all our fans and for the team for believing in me, and I hope we'll have way more success in the future.
All right, well, at this rate, of course, the series that you just played was very convincing, so congratulations once more on 2-0ing Beastcoast. I'm looking forward to seeing you play, or rather, seeing you coach your team again tomorrow.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And now we're going to do the segment where